Hi, welcome to Matt's Garage. Today we're going to finish dressing out the engine and potentially even get it to run. You'll recall I have these original Lincoln valve covers on here. There's no PCV built into these, but I do want to reuse these, so I'm going to take these off and modify them to have a PCV situation. Let's see if it clears. Nope. So I'm going to go buy some new valve covers. Man, I was really looking forward to using these too. They look so cool. While we wait for that part, I'm going to do the rest of this. I run one of these, which is basically it's a temperature controlled vacuum switch. And what this does, it allows me to plumb my charcoal canister up to this valve. So the purge will go onto this, and this will just be a vacuum source down here. And it won't activate until the engine's warmed up, so that your engine's at operating temperature when it starts purging the charcoal canister, so it doesn't mess with your cold idle. I've been running it on the Scout with some success, so I'm gonna do the same on the Bronco. So I just got this 1/4 inch 4-hole phenolic from Summit. And for those not familiar, basically the idea is that by running this, you really limit how much temperature transfer you get from the engine to the carburetor. I'm running a 1/4 inch one on the Scout too with the Sniper. Seems to work good. Comes with hardware and 2 gaskets and studs and stuff. My studs are actually long enough that I'm not gonna redo them. It's on there, good and tight. Backwards, thank you. Wow. There you go. That looks more appropriate. I'm just taking some of these fittings off so that I can take these to the store with me, and I know what I'm getting myself into, like what I need to buy. Now I'm going to fill up the axles and the transmission, so I figure out how much fluid I need to buy, if any. I probably need some. That's the fill hole. We have a wrench for that. Yeah, okay. Ja, ist gut. Now we get to see how my actual work held up here in terms of sealing this thing up. I buy my oil in bulk, but I keep these bottles because they're just so much easier to fill with. That's right there. I think I might stop right there. It's pretty full. Yeah, all right, good. I'm gonna go back in with a brass plug here. I don't know why, I just like the way these flush plugs work or look better. All right, that's NP tight. I'm using 80/90, 80 weight 90. People will tell you whatever, I don't care. I use 80/90. But I am gonna put some friction modifier in it because it's got a limited slip. This stuff smells so bad. It's bad. What this friction modifier does is it modifies the friction. Well, I got half of it onto the shop floor, so that's good. Come on, guy. What are you spilling everywhere? Embarrassing me in front of all my fan. Oh yeah, that's right there. Okay. I'm trying to figure out why Ford went away from this style fill plug. Does anybody know? I'm kind of jumping around a bit, but that's how I work in the garage. So I'm going to put in some motor oil here. This is O'Reilly's 1030. Just putting it right down the distributor hole. Now you might be asking yourself, Matt, don't you want to put some in the oil filter? Well, while I have the valve covers off, I'm actually going to prime the motor so I can see the oil working up the valleys. Then I know that put the little thing in right and that the oil pump's working and everything. So that'll also prime the oil filter. So kill two birds with one stone. All right, I made this primer when I was working on the first Bronco. Wrong direction, I think. Is that the right direction? But anyway, I made this from an old distributor. There you go, it's seated. So now I'm just gonna try to figure out what direction I'm supposed to spin this. Counterclockwise. So we're gonna go like that. Yeah, see that? Just started getting it. Yeah, got two now. Just started getting some on the passenger side. It's funny, I got them in all except the one. Oh, there it is. So all the valves are getting oil. That's primed. That's awesome. All right, let's do the Dana 30. This is the one I'm worried most about leaking because I normally tighten the cover down after about an hour of the RTV sitting, but in this case I forgot, so it sat overnight. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, the AX15, 3.5 quarts, 3.5 quarts down the yap here. I'm just using 10 weight 30. Castrol. It was the cheapest 5-quart bottle at O'Reilly's. Yeah, that's good enough. You wanted details. Here are the details. I need a vacuum port. I could use the one off of the carb, but because I may go to EFI, I'm just going to use this port here. There's two. I'm going to use the high side one because the hose will just have an easier time clearing the vacuum, the valve cover. I use this liquid thread sealant. It's like a white goop, Permatex. It's a pain to work with because it's just a mess, but I've had really good luck with it sealing, so that's what I use. Okay, that's done. This side's a different story because this is the stock Ford sending unit, temp sending unit. And with the adapter here to make it fit into this hole, it ends up sitting super high. You know, I'd much rather this be in the stream. So I'm actually gonna put my vacuum trigger, I'm gonna use my vacuum trigger on this one, and I'm gonna put this over here on this water port. I also ordered a water neck that has a port in it. So if I really don't like this one, then I can put it on this one. Also, by getting that extra outlet or port outlet, by getting that extra port, if I do switch to EFI, I've got a spot for the sensor. You know what's super annoying is these don't come with the nuts, you know? It's like I spend 20 bucks on a sensor, and then I gotta go to McClendon's and buy a nut. For power steering, I got this hose made from Discount Hoses. Discount hydraulic hose. And it's it's pretty nice. It's stainless. It basically adapts this flare fitting to 6AN. Go like this, like this. That looks legit, doesn't it? I show you guys the screw ups too, but you can see it was clear in the base, but it's not clear in the cap. So I'm gonna have to plug this and put this into the thermostat if I use this. I might just use a metered port. It's like a, let me show you. Again, this is for the purge valve on the charcoal canister. You can buy these restricted ports and basically just keep a tiny little vacuum leak in your system and it'll purge the vacuum canister. I don't know, we'll see. Or maybe the EFI temp sensor goes in there. Well, I don't know what size they are or whatever. Probably won't fit. We'll figure it out. Well, these valve covers are a nice upgrade. These are from Bob Drake, Bronco. Really nice push-on style breather on this side. Comes with the grommet for the PCV on the other side. So let me bolt these to 3 to 5 pounds of torque, and then we can keep moving. On this side, we've got this breather style, push-in style breather. Ford Fomoco. Okay, I'm gonna hook up the PCV. Got these Ford racing wires. They're marked with the numbers on them. So it's 1372. Okay, 2. Wait, this is 2. It's 5. I don't really know how this is supposed to go. 5, 4, 8. What's this? Just an extra wire, I guess? Coil, maybe? Okay. All right, this is HEI, right? So you could just shove a spade terminal up in there, but I like to use these pigtails, just cleaner. The green is for tack, don't need that, obviously. So that's in there, and I need to get a 12 volt to that, and I need to ground this and get something to the starter. Okay, I got my fire extinguisher, and I've got the battery hooked up to the starter and the ground going to the head. And I know I've got continuity there, so it's grounded. Now I'm just gonna hook up the Lone Wolf 3000. I don't have ignition hot yet. I don't have choke hot. I just wanna see if the starter will turn the motor over. Did I hook it up to the right thing? No. All right. Test 1. Turns over. All right, so I have like this switch jumper. I'm gonna connect this to the choke. I'm going to connect this to the coil. Don't have a spade terminal, don't ask. And then I'm just going to wrap that one so we don't get any shorts. And then this is going to go down into my battery. Okay, so theoretically, when I flip this switch, I got power to my ignition and my choke. I'm going to bottle feed it in there a little bit. Oh, easy guy, get in the hole now. Just gonna put a little bit down the yap. Get the Lone Wolf hooked up, switch on. Oh, it barked. Maybe a little more timing. Let's take it a little. Oh, there you go. Okay, so I like less timing. All right, let's get some fuel in it and see if we can keep it running. Bring the thunder. Okay, maybe too much, took out a little too much time in there. A little more gas. Way too much. Perfect. Awesome! Sounded good to me. Gavin.
Yeah, what's up? I heard you say yeah.
You
so
did.
Did you get it ready?
Yep.
Nice.
You want to see?
Sure. Loud?
It's not too loud, actually.
Oh, okay. Is that oil?
No, it's gas.
Oh, okay. Right, obviously.
Wait, did I just turn it off? Yeah, I turned it off. Hold on. Ready? Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
Works. It runs good.
How long did it take you?
10 minutes maybe? Yeah. Dude. What's up, Alpine Garage? When are you going to get yours running, huh? Or mine. When are you going to get mine running? I already got mine running. My other one, yeah. Nice.
Nice.
I'm dumbfounded. I got to run it and it sounded good and quiet. So,
Did you make custom mufflers?
I did. Wow. It's kind of a milestone. So I've got a running engine. It's not piddling. I don't see oil anywhere. So we're going to call that good and move on to the part I don't want to move on to.
Which is?
Bodywork.
Nice.
Next time on Matt's Garage.